Flarf. 1. Conceptualism asks, what is poetry? 1. Flarf says you. 2. Flarf is never about anything other than poetry itself. 2. Conceptualism is allegorical. It is about things other than poetry itself. 3. Flarf is the court gesture. As such, it is still a member of the court. 3. Conceptualism courts jest, but is not the king's dog. 4. Flarf is composition. 4. Conceptualism is composed. 5. Conceptualism employs a variety of techniques that compromise and complicate the question of excess text, of unreadability, of extra-textual narrativity, of the need for and love of categories and the acategorical, of the false and adored divide between praxis and other praxis, addition and subtraction, theory and things with 2 types of teeth. 5. Flarf is a one-trick pony that thinks a unicorn is another kind of horse. 6. Flarf is sexual repression on a half-shell that giggles at dildos. 6. Conceptualism is sexy. The penis is a dildo. 7. Flarf still loves poetry. 7. Conceptualism loves poetry enough to put it out of its misery. 8. Flarf wants to be funny. 8. Conceptualism wants. 9. Flarf maintains a superior attitude towards the world at large. Random. 9. Legit. 10. Flarf has one answer to every problem. It involves the spin or schema of interpretation, that is to say, the social construction of a social phenomenon, such as is favored by advertisers and politicians. Thus, its philosophical underpinnings lie primarily in the Platonic premise of a unified ethical and aesthetic field, in the sense that the frame as represented must contain a more or less stable relationship to a larger belief system, equally stable, preferably central, in order for the frame to function as both relevant to the empirical realities of its potential participants and to the narrative fidelity of the frame itself. Cognitively, the framing effect involves the amygdala, and thus Flarf hits an emotional pitch. The emotional pitch, it could be noted, of the hysteric. 10. Conceptualism has no answers, but is instead interrogative. Through the deployment of multiple strategies that serve to destabilize text extant or made, via reframed reiterations and multiple sites of rhetorical deployment, conceptualism is neo-Kantian, epistemologically concerned with the ongoing subject and the instantiation of radical evil. In other words, the instantiation of that which is consciously contratextual in the sense of all that has been made text, made contextual sense, the rendering immaterial of every materiality of poetry, the contratext being the new context, con, as I have pointed out elsewhere, in the sense of being a cunt. Conceptualism is, as the term indicates, primarily a cortical engagement. 11. Flarf is Funhouse Freud, the id tweaking the superego. 11. Conceptualism is Lacan in a mirror, the discourse of the slave. 12. Flarf is Freudian in the sense of the drive by way of the virtual dérive. As such, it must be sans satisfaction, le donner. 12. Conceptualism is Lacanian in the sense of desire by the way of the law, by the way of the petit objet a, as such, le don. 13. Flarf plays cousin while playing it off. It speaks to people in people voice, okay? It's the first to suggest titty beer, bing bong hits, and butterscotch jello shots. It wants to stay up late and bitch, bitch, bitch. It might bleed out, but nothing's permanently stained. It surfs like Point Break without leaving awake. It goes Louie Louie and blows OC pretty. It would like you to like it, really. It wants to be kind of dada, but it's not that fucking desperate. It wants to play it black, but mostly lace trick pussy. 13. Flarf plays cousin while playing it off. It speaks to people in people voice, okay? It's the first to suggest titty beer bong hits and butterscotch jello shots. It wants to stay up late. It might bleed out, but nothing's permanently stained. It serves like Point Break without leaving awake. It goes Louie Louie and blows OC pretty. It would like you to like it, really. It wants to be kind of dada, but it's not that fucking desperate. It wants to play it black, but mostly lace trick pussy. 14. Flarf is a style, as mood as Allah as sliced cheese on pie. Those who write Flarf, or to use their terminology, they write Flarfy poetry, to be distinguished from regular poetry. Flarfy poetry makes hay where the sun don't shine. Like baboons copulating in cages at the zoo, Flarf fucks inside the glass walls, a show-stopping show, played to the embarrassed maybe, or the bemused could be, or the temporarily entertained probably. It's kind of natural, but nature's not in it. Who me? In this sense, Flarf is a whoopee cushion in the world of the new and old lyric. 14. In this sense, conceptualism is a fart. 15. Ron Silliman likes Flarf. 15. Ron Silliman does not like conceptualism. 16. Flarf succeeds in doing what it sets its mind to upend and offend, to play the hand all the way through. The best Flarf is virtuosic. 16. The best conceptualism is failure. 17. Flarf looks like poetry. 17. Poetry looks like conceptualism. Thank you.